because I have followed these 6 key principles and they absolutely work. My mind, my body, and my soul was being affected. I really had to shift my mindset because that's where it starts. It all starts in the mindset.
Hey, welcome back to the I Am Pain-Free podcast. I am Rob Renee, your host. Today we've got an incredibly inspiring episode for you. I'm joined by the amazing Coach G, as she is called, aka Greta Ross. She's transformed her life and is now dedicated all of her energy to helping others do the same. It's really inspirational. Imagine shedding 117 pounds. Wow! Reversing diabetes, high blood pressure, and cholesterol. All, guess what? Without medication. That's so cool. Coach G did it, and she's here to share her journey and her 6 key principles that can lead you to a healthier, pain-free life. Get ready for an empowering conversation that can change the way you approach your health. Here it comes. Welcome to the show, Coach G. Hey, it's Rob from the I Am Pain-Free podcast. Another great episode lined up for you today. I have got Coach G here today. So Greta Ross has joined us. Really very excited because it's just really fun to have awesome people that are interested in helping people live a pain-free life naturally and faithfully. And Greta, Coach G, I'll start doing that. Coach G is amazing at that. So Coach G, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rob. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, so glad you're here. So I would love just for you, if you don't mind, just to spend a few minutes, tell my audience a little bit more about yourself and how did you get interested into this wonderful field of health and wellness?
Probably about 12 years ago, I weighed 237 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, I was diagnosed with diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high A1C, and I had acid reflux so bad I couldn't even lay down and sleep, which actually was what led me to the doctor to find out about the diagnosis of those other diseases that I had at the time.
Yeah.
And I've always been an all-natural girl. I grew up with my grandparents, and they just did all home remedies, so I never seen anyone in my family like do medication. So after leaving the doctor's office, I had to come up with a solution on how I could eliminate those diseases without taking medication because I just refused.
So you did that
refused.
because of your grandparents. That's amazing.
Yes.
I wish
My grandfather lived to be
had that.
109. He lived to be 109 and was not on any medication at all.
That's amazing. Love that.
Yes.
Love that. So you're going to be at least 110 then, right?
That's what my daughter tells me all the time. So after being diagnosed with all those things, I sat in the car for a minute and I cried for about 20 minutes. And I said, okay, I got to do something. And I went home and I shared with my husband what I had discovered. And so I just started walking. I didn't know what to do. So I just started walking. So my husband says, okay, I'll come with you. And the very first day that we walked, because we were just talking, trying to come up with a solution, we walked 30 miles.
What? The first day?
The first day we walked 30 miles. Wow. I had no idea we had walked that far because we were just talking and I was just so upset about the diagnosis that okay, I got to figure this out. So that's how we ended up walking 30 miles. So what I did from that point on, I just started walking every single day. 7 days a week, I would walk for at least an hour and a half every single day. And next thing I know, the weight started coming off. I started feeling better. 3 months later, I went back to the doctor. My numbers had dropped. They weren't still in a safe place, but they had dropped drastically. And so then I came back home and I started walking again because I'm like, this is working. So I was watching what I was eating. I switched up my diet a little bit. And some other things. I wasn't getting my proper water intake. I wasn't getting a proper amount of sleep. When all those things work together. And so I had to just shift all that around. And so it took me about 1 year and 4 months. And I walked. That's all I did was walked off 117 pounds.
Wow.
And that was 12 years ago.
That's so amazing. Congratulations. Because that's such a really good story for other people to hear, right? Because it's even if you're overweight or out of shape, do one thing, right?
Just walk.
One thing. Just walk. That's
Yes.
so cool. You and I, now that we know a lot more, we're gonna say, okay, plus you need to do this and this. But
Yes. Yes.
first off,
Yes.
just go walk.
Yes. That's just the first start. That's just the first
That's
starting
so
point.
cool.
Yes.
Congratulations for making that effort and change, because I know
Yes.
it's not easy, right? And so
It
anybody
wasn't.
in that situation, we need to
Yes.
just encourage them that you can do it too. If Coach G did
Yeah.
it, you can do it. You can
Yeah.
do
And plus, I was 55 at the time.
it. Okay.
So it wasn't like I was like in my 20s or
Right.
30s. And the older you get, it's a little bit more challenging. So that's what I was facing at 55, is the challenge of being older. Your body is not, your metabolism has slowed completely down. And so, yes, it was very challenging. But I was determined that I wasn't going to quit.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yes.
I love that. So then, obviously, 12 years ago, lots of things have happened in those 12 years. Explain a little bit more about what have you done since you transformed your health and got rid of some of the. How long did it take for you to get the clean bill of health from your practitioner back
It
then?
was about 7 months after I
Was it?
started walking that my numbers were perfect. And the
Nice.
doctors, they were actually amazed because they kept saying, you didn't take any medication to eliminate the diabetes. What did you do? And I told them I changed my diet. I started exercising. I started getting my sleep. I started drinking my water. And I just changed all of my habits.
That's,
And so
they're like,
doing,
hey, you didn't take these big pharma drugs? How dare you?
I know, huh? Oh yeah, I had to sign a waiver that day I went to the doctor, because they said if we're not going to treat you, then you have to sign this waiver refusing that you're not going to get treated, so that way in the event that something happens to you, that we won't be held responsible.
Jeez,
I'm
isn't
like,
that?
no, the medication that you want to give me is what's going to kill me.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. I want to sign a waiver that you're not going to put that stuff in my body.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. I didn't take the medication, and I just had to do a lot of shifting with my mindset first. I really had to shift my mindset, because that's where it starts. It all starts in the mindset, and I had to realize that it took me time to gain that weight and to not take care of myself. So it had to take time in order for me to reverse that.
Yeah.
So it started with my mindset, and so with that being said, what I did was, as I kept walking, I was coming up with a business. I said, you know what? If I can do this, I need to help other people learn how to do this, because it worked. So you can't argue with success. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how are you going to argue with somebody who lost 117 pounds just from walking?
And then let me show you my test results before, and let me show you my test results after, and then you
Exactly.
tell me this doesn't
Exactly.
work, right?
Yes. And ever since, my numbers have been perfect. For the last 12 years, my numbers have been perfect, because what I developed this program, and I call them the six key principles to better health and wellness.
Nice.
And these six key principles is what has been able to keep me in good health, keep my numbers perfect, my blood pressure, A1C, everything is perfect. And the
Nice.
reason why I've been able to maintain that is because I have followed these six key principles, and they absolutely work, which is the mindset,
Okay.
your habits,
Okay. Number two is
physical
habits.
act, physical activity,
Okay.
your eating habits, your sleeping habits, and your water intake.
Wow. Very good.
All those things
Very
work
good.
together. And
That's
people don't
good.
know how important all of those things are that will help you to stay in good health.
Yes, amen, amen. So then,
Yes.
while you were walking, you're like, "Hey, I think I should create a business helping people do what I did." So, did you? How long have you been coaching other people on doing that, or do you do other things? Or tell me more about what you've done with that.
No, this is pretty much the only thing I do. And actually, I didn't start it right away. I didn't start the
Okay.
business right away, because I really wanted to have the solid foundation on being able to not necessarily convince people, but allow them to see what I was doing in order so that they would be able to do it as well. So it probably took me about 3 or 4 years after I lost the weight before I actually started the business. And here's the funny thing: as I was walking, I was just walking and praying the
Awesome.
whole time. That's what I did.
Two of my
And
favorite things.
but see, here's the thing, and that's how I didn't come up with, but God shared with me the name of the business, which is Mind, Body, Soul. And I
Nice.
didn't realize that all three of those things were being affected by me not being healthy. All
Yeah.
three of them. My mind, my body, and my soul was being affected because my soul was in turmoil because I was just all over the place. I got the name of the business, and about 3 years later, I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and start helping other people to become healthy, get off the medication, and know that the medication is only treating the symptoms. It's not a cure.
That's
And
right.
when that was really the hardest thing. That's been my biggest challenge coming up against big pharma. It's not easy to for people to understand that they're only treating the symptoms and that they're not fixing the problem.
Yeah, unfortunately, I grew up in the world that said, okay, when you have an ill, you need to go to the doctor. And the doctor, the white coat doctor, he's going to give you all of the things you need to be healed. And then so you go to the doctor and then they give you a pill and you go home and you're going to be better,
Yes.
right? That's the society that I grew up in.
Yep.
And that we trust the white coat. And that is, boy, obviously I've learned a lot in the last few years. And right now, you're right. I think we need to get to the point where we are helping people understand how incredibly awesome that God made our bodies, right?
Yes.
And,
And he
and
created them to heal itself. If we do the right thing,
yeah,
our bodies can heal itself. And that's why I stress to people about the importance of sleep, is because our body goes through that healing process while we're sleeping. And that's
right,
why sleep is so important. When people just totally neglect that part of health and wellness and not realizing that, our bodies have to go through a check series. Okay, your brain cells, okay, your cells, your heart, your liver, your all that stuff has to go through a whole series of stuff while we're resting, because it can't do it while we're moving around. So that's why sleep is so important. Plus, it also sleep is important for either gaining or losing weight. So it's been an awesome journey. And what I discovered is that yes, people do have a lot of trust in the doctor, but this is what I tell people. It's like you go to the doctor and you say to the doctor, I have a headache. I've had a headache for 4 days. So
right,
the doctor's going to treat your headache. Whatever, if you tell him that you have a headache, that's what he's going to treat.
yeah,
So I decided I wanted to become a naturopathic practitioner and a holistic health practitioner because I wanted to treat the whole person. Because sometimes a headache doesn't come from sometimes it comes from maybe something that's going on in your life. Maybe your child is sick, or you're having marital issues. So having a headache may not be something physical. Sometimes it's emotional. Sometimes it's mental. So I like to look at the whole person and dig down deep to get to the root of what's causing the headache. Let's get to that part so we
right,
can fix that. The
yeah.
doctors don't do that.
No, they don't. I think, to be fair, some of them do, and they turn into holistic practitioners after they go down that rabbit hole. 'Cause
Yes, yes, they do.
they want to
Absolutely.
help the person holistically, like you've learned to do, right? Which is
Yes,
really cool.
yes,
I think that's right. When you realize that God gave us this an amazing body, and if we feed it the right things and do the right things, man, God can heal us. And
yes,
so it's
yes, absolutely.
the
Yes.
processes and even your 6 steps. The 6 steps don't heal anybody. It just helps your body get to the right spot for the God to heal them. Right? That's the way. That's what
Exactly.
I look at it.
Exactly. 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 Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
I love it, and I love what you do. Did you go? What school did you go to learn to be a naturopathic doctor?
There's this gentleman who actually, he lived in Hawaii at the time, and
Okay.
his World Conscious Changers. And I got into to NLP. I don't know if you know what that is.
Yeah, neuro
Yeah. So
linguistic
that was
programming, right?
Yes, yeah. Oh my God, it's so good. And because I wanted to understand why people, their mindset was. So I starting with the mind, which is where I started at.
Awesome.
And so it's been an awesome journey. And here's the thing: is once you discover that path, all you want to do is continue to learn and continue to learn.
Right.
One of my friends, she says I'm a junkie. She says you're just a junkie. I'm like, I know, I can't help it,
I
because it's always
know.
something. It's always something to learn
There's
in this
always something
industry.
new, huh? Yeah.
Yes,
My
yes.
wife is amazing because she's been down this path before I was, and so
Mm-hmm.
she's been researching things way before I ever was interested in. I used to laugh at her. Right? She's something like grounding. I love this example. People have heard this. Me say it all the time because I just laughed at her. I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to put my shoes on when I go outside. I don't want to had my feet on the ground. And then I started doing research on grounding and how important it was and how
Yes,
it is to your health. And I'm
absolutely.
just like, dang it, it's so
Yes,
right.
yes,
So
absolutely.
yeah,
Yes, yes.
there's so
And
many
all
things
that stuff
like
is
that,
so
right?
important for our health. It really is. But the thing is that we don't know that. You know what I'm saying? We don't know because there's no classes in school. Of
Yeah,
course,
so
you take
that's the
health classes,
frustrating thing, right? It's like,
even and even when doctors go to school, they don't learn that. Even when it comes to nutrition, they don't learn that.
no,
you
no,
know so
no.
unless you specialize in naturopathy, then that's really the only way you're going to know this stuff.
Yeah, and when I went down the rabbit hole of why, and that man, what was really intriguing when I did research about the medical system and how our U.S. medical system was taken over in the early 1900s, right? So that I understand it now a little bit more, and I
Hmm.
love the doctors and nurses that are out there really trying to help people. And modern medicine definitely has its place, right? If I have an emergency, the first place I'm going is to the emergency room, right? I
Yep.
know that can help with acute things, but man, when you start looking at natural things like that you've been trained on, that man, just think if our society had started that way and we are teaching our children from the
Yes.
beginning to live like that and to
Hmm.
treat their bodies the way it should be treated, that man, our society would be in such a better spot. And so if
Yeah.
we get to the point where we can teach people and teach our children and our children's children
Yeah.
how to live in a healthy way naturally, to
Yes.
let them live to 112 instead of your 110, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And that's exactly what I do. My daughter is into health and wellness. My grandson, who's 20, my daughter's 38. So what I teach them, they're able to reach their generation because my grandson's 20. 20-year-olds aren't going to listen to me, but they'll listen to him.
Yeah.
40-year-old women or people will listen to my daughter because she's in that age bracket. So they look at her and they see, so it's easy for them to reach people in their age group because of what I taught them. So I tell people, you know what, my legacy is that right now I have 3 generations, which is myself, my daughter, and my grandson.
Go girl, go Coach G. That's
So
amazing.
yes,
That's great.
yes,
That's so good. Yeah, we need to just replicate that right over and over again
absolutely.
so we can.
You know what? Here's the thing. People pass on bad habits. People say, my grandmother had diabetes or my grandfather had high blood pressure. What we learned from them are their bad habits, like their bad eating habits, which is what caused the diabetes in the first place. So what we pick up is this right here, eating like they ate. So it was, and I'm not saying that sometimes it's not genetic. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is 90% of the time is from what we learned from the people that we grew up with. If they had bad eating habits, guess what? As children, we're going to have bad eating habits. What else are we going to do? We're going to eat what they eat. So I
They
think
do
it's
what
really
they do.
important.
You mimic them a
Yes.
lot. Yep. So true. I love it. So
Yep.
you've been helping people for quite some time, which is really exciting. So what your business? What's the name of it?
It's Mind Body Soul Shift is the name of my
Okay.
business, but I do have a podcast and it's called Thriving After 50 Mind Body
Nice.
Soul.
Okay.
Because I want people to know that even though because people say, "Oh, I'm too old, I can't lose the weight, I can't do this." Yes, you can. And they need to know that even though you're 50 and older, because in September I'm going to be 66. Excuse me, 67. I'm already 66. I'm going to be 67. But I want people to know even at 67 I go to the gym 5 days a week. I get
Girl.
8 o'clock p.m. I'm in the bed and asleep not 7 days a week. 8 p.m. I'm asleep. So I get my sleep. I get my water intake. I eat healthy. So therefore, I can maintain good health. And I've been maintaining good health for all these years. So I know it works. It
That's
absolutely
fantastic. So
works.
obviously you talked about sleep, and then you talked a little bit about water. What is your water recommendations for people?
Here's what I tell people. You should consume, so let's just say for easy math that you weigh 100 pounds. You should drink half of your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you should consume at least 50 ounces of water every day, 7 days a week. Because your organs need the water, your hair, your nails, your skin. So if you don't drink enough water, all that stuff just starts to fall apart. And people don't understand. My nails are so brittle and I need this. No, you just need to consume more water.
such a key to our existence in life. I just love to hear the way different people explain that. So I'm in total agreement with you. That's
Yes. Even when
fantastic.
it comes to exercise, I tell people they think that yes, I go to the gym 5 days a week, and yes, I do spend at least 2 hours in the gym. But just because that's what I do, that may not be suitable for everybody. So I just walk.
Yeah,
You
just
don't
do
need a
just
gym
walk.
membership. Just get outside and walk. And then I say, if you can do 30 minutes a day, you will feel better. You will sleep better. You will eat better. You will drink more water, and you'll start to see results. You'll start to see the pounds start to fall off. Your clothes will start to feel better. So then people, of course, some people have this, I can't do 30 minutes. That's too much. That's too hard. So I give them an easy solution that no one can refuse. I say, here's what you do. You walk outside the door and you walk 15 minutes in any direction. And then you come back and you just walk 30 minutes.
There you go. That's
See how
right.
simple that is?
Yeah.
So I
Yep.
try to make it easy for people so that way they don't, because I know it's a challenge, especially when you're first getting started. So
Yep.
I just say 30 minutes a day. It's not like you got to go to a gym. You can get outside and walk around your neighborhood, 15 minutes there, 15 minutes back. And, you just done 30 minutes and you're going to feel better.
Yeah, for sure. For
Yep.
sure. I love it. So how do you market your business, and how many clients do you have? Tell us more just about what you're doing. I love it.
I'm doing a lot of marketing on my podcast and on
Okay.
LinkedIn and getting some great reviews, especially for my podcast. I just started it April the 25th. And
Congrats.
yeah, and actually I have, as of today, I have like over 800 downloads since I
Nice.
started in April. And I think that's pretty good. I don't know, but I've been told that's great. So I do a lot of marketing with my podcast, and people get in contact with me on my website, which is coachg.life. And they'll reach out to me on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram and saying, listen, I just don't know what to do. Please, I need some help. I've been trying to do this. I've been dieting. I've even thought about going to have surgery. It's, oh my God, please. And those are the people that I really like to really work with, because they think that their only choice is surgery. That's what they think. There's no, what, I've tried everything and it doesn't work. It's no, you haven't tried everything. You may have tried a lot of things, but you haven't tried everything. And my clientele, I usually try to focus on women after 50. And the reason why is because we are so busy. We're wives, we're mothers, we're grandmothers, we work, we're CEOs, we have our own businesses, and we usually put ourselves on the back burner. So I focus on women after 50 because I want them to know that taking care of you is the best thing that you can do for the people that you love,
Yeah.
because you're giving them the best of you versus what's left of you.
Yeah, I love it.
you know so
Yeah.
so yeah, so I have a pretty decent clientele. My goal is to I would like to coach at least a couple women a day, not excluding men. Now don't get me wrong, because I have coached some men and seen great results. They're not, when it comes to men, some say, oh, my wife, some women say, oh, my husband won't go to the doctor. But I've had some men to reach out to me and have gotten great results and told their friends about it. I had this one gentleman that he had been on insulin for a number of years. And he said, the doctor said I could never get off insulin because I've been on it for so long, and this is just a part of my life now. I said, okay, I'm going to challenge your doctor.
Good for you.
I said, I'm going to challenge your doctor. Okay. So he says, really? I said, yeah. I said, this is what we're going to do. So I gave him the plan, the 6 keys. And he did it for 3 months, went to the doctor, saw his numbers started dropping. He said, what are you doing? Because you've been on this insulin and your numbers have been the same, which I told him, I said, the only thing they're doing is treating the symptoms. They're not helping you to get rid of the diabetes. 6 months later, he went back again and his numbers dropped even lower. So at that point, the doctor was just amazed. 9 months into my program, he was completely off of insulin, completely. No
Nice.
more insulin. And the doctor said, that's unheard of. He says, I've never had a patient that has ever been able to come off of insulin. He said, but your number's so good, I can't keep you on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
I
was
mean,
like,
look at
yes,
that attitude. I
yes,
can't keep you on it.
right,
Darn it!
yes.
I'm losing my gravy train. Right?
Yeah, exactly. And I know Big Pharma wasn't happy with me about that either. It's okay.
No, that's amazing. You helped
Yes.
help break the
Yes.
cycle with that
Yes.
man's
So my
life.
goal is to at least coach, like maybe two to three women a day. Right now I'm doing like one a day, four
Nice.
days a week, but I want to pick it up a little bit, pick up the pace. And I think that as time goes on, it's going to pick up a little bit more.
Yeah, great. What's another? That story was amazing with your insulin one. Tell me one more. Your story is amazing. So I love those two stories. Tell me one more story before we go.
Okay, here's another story. There was this lady in Houston, and she works for a cancer center in Houston. And she had just been just busy and just not taking care of herself. But when she was younger, she was very athletic. So she had a baby, I want to say at 43. At that point, she just wasn't doing anything with herself. She just let herself go. And she got in contact with me. And this lady, once she started my program, she ended up going to the gym like 5 days a week. She got into karate. She goes swimming. This lady does at least 5 different things a week: Zumba, step classes, swimming, karate, and she works out at the gym. And that's all because she just started with one of my programs, and it changed her life. And so she says, plus the other thing that I was doing was I was holding her accountable, which that was the other thing that most people don't get when you get a coach. They coach you on how to be healthy. So what I was doing was, whatever the plan was, is okay, you're going to go swimming 2 days a week. I would make sure that she was on point with her swimming. I would send her a text message, 4 a.m. Here's your morning text. It's time to rise, grind, and shine. Yeah. And she loved it. So for years, she just got out there, and her daughter now is 6 years old, and she just was in a competition and ended up getting her black belt in karate. And this lady is amazing. She is amazing. She just turned her whole life around. Go hiking. She's all over in Europe, hiking all the time. She's just amazing. I love it. I love it.
That's so
Absolutely.
cool. Hey, I want you to say that rise and shine. Again, that was
Yes, rise,
great.
grind, and shine.
Yeah,
Yes.
how many? Okay, I'm picking up my phone. What is
Yes. Rise, grind, and shine. Yes,
There
sir.
you go.
Yes, yes,
I
yes. It's
love it.
that time of the day. You got to
There
rise.
you
And I
go.
say it every morning when I go to the gym, because I want people to know, hey, you got to get up, you got to grind it out, and then you can shine.
That's fantastic. Gee,
Yes.
Greta, Coach G, what a pleasure to meet you. And you mentioned your website once, but let's mention again. So to get a hold of you, people can get a hold of you via your website, and it is
Yes. CoachG.life.
LIFE.
LIFE. Yes, sir.
Okay, Coach G.
.life.
Nice.
Yes.
Very good. We'll make
Yes.
sure that we put that in the show notes below so
Please. Yes.
access you and get to know you. And man, what a pleasure to meet you. And I know this is only a short time, but I really look forward to having further conversations with you, because it's really fun to meet people who are really out trying to help others in a
Yes.
natural, holistic way. And I'm
Absolutely.
so glad that you are who you are. Thank you for being who you are.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. I appreciate you having me and allowing me the opportunity to share with people that they can be healthy. They don't have to be on medication. They can change that. They can change that. And all you have to do is these 6 key principles. I'm telling you, if you apply them, you will live a healthy lifestyle. Yes.
Amen.
Absolutely. Thank
Amen.
you. Thank you for having me, Rob. I
Yeah, Coach
appreciate
G,
you.
what a pleasure, and I look forward to working with you in the future.
Awesome. I look forward to working with you as well. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Signing off today from the I Am Pain Free podcast with Coach G in the house.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Goodbye. As many of you know, my focus at the I Am Pain Free podcast is help as many people get pain free as possible. And we strive to use all natural and alternative therapies to accomplish that goal. Well, today I'm thrilled to introduce to you a revolutionary product that aligns perfectly with our mission of natural health and well-being. It's called Exodus by Exodus Strong. At Exodus Strong, their mission is to help you break free from the grip of big pharma and embrace natural solutions that promote vibrant health. With a foundation rooted in the wisdom of the Bible, the all-natural supplement harnesses the power of 7 key ingredients specifically mentioned in the scriptures. The flagship product Exodus is designed to be transformational, providing benefits such as energy enhancement, stress relief, blood sugar stabilization, pain relief, and anti-inflammation. So join the movement, right, to help them get 1 million new people to read the Bible every day and transform their health naturally. When you purchase Exodus, use code IAPF at checkout to receive a special free gift with your order. It's time to exit the old you and step into a new chapter of vitality and well-being. To get there, you go to exodusstrong.com. So it's Exodus, EXODUS, STRONG.com. And check out and use that IAPF for the I Am Pain Free podcast. And then you'll experience the benefits of the Exodus mineral blend. This mineral blend is amazing. It's got the molecular hydrogen generating formula that's backed by hundreds of scientific studies. So begin your journey feeling great and looking great. Don't miss the opportunity to take control of your health with the all natural way. So go check it out. I think you'll really enjoy it.